All righty, clicking. Got it there. Let's take it on back end. Got it. Dunsky. All righty, you all. Peace of greetings. Namaste to you all. Namaste, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at northwest of Maxim. How are you? Happy holy space Venus degree to all of you beloved Muslims, all right? Globally and intergalactically. I'd like to welcome you to our Brother Benjamin Bey, right? We're both here. I am Brother Sean, filling in for Brother Benjamin, right? As we work out, the streaming technicalities and things of that nature that are, somewhat it be already. We're just like they're already worked out. So just allowing the transitioning to occur and the arrival pertaining to such remedy to actually transpire. So with that being said, I'm here with no other than
Brother Sean Ale, Brother Braveheart Ale, and also Brother Nature Mind Ale.
Nature Mind Ale, right? Indeed, Brother Sean. So, man, it's Impromptu Improv where we just kind of, we already, have been kind of chatting already, you know what I mean? Just going on what we go over, man. I got this mango and this lime over here. I think I'm going to munch while we're doing this. Right. However, though, without further ado, guys, we want to share the screen and do our invocation in because it's holy degree, man. And we always supreme honors to our beloved brother and prophet, noble Drew Ali, the only, not the second, the 50th one, no, only one. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, okay, manifested, January 8th, 1886, near the North Carolina State Republic. That's how I denote that, all right? And in the state where it was said, it was termed Timothy Drew, pertaining to the calling. However, it's all hearsay because, we don't know what our moms called us when we manifested, actually. So why agree and capitulate to someone's false claims? That's why you have you have the right to declare and proclaim your nationality. Correct your name, for the record. That's how this goes, man. Because remember, you were an incompetent minor when you exited the vagina. You didn't check the calendar. You didn't come out the vagina like, hey man, what day is it? Hey mom, what time is it? It wasn't like, hey, I want to know what time it is. It wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? It was, hey y'all, did I come out in July 8th? I didn't ask my mom that. I didn't say, hey mommy, what you called me just now? What you said? I didn't do that. Because if I could, I would be like, hey mom, don't you sign that motherfucking birth certificate? I'd have been like that. You know what I'm saying? I kind of would have did something like that. But anyway, I'm just serious. So with that being said, let me actually share our content here on line, right? So let's do with that. Go to with our channelist, right? And let me, before I start the screen shares, let me say my peaceful greetings to those that are and or will be in the chat. Peaceful greetings, beloved, and happy holy degree. All right. Happy holy Venus degree. All right. And sent, right? Like that spaceship with no rear view mirrors. Move forward. All right. Let's get that out there. What a woman. Look at that. Grade coming apart. Don't want to show that non-supreme grand chic belly that I have. Got men out here looking at other men's bellies and stuff. Hey, stop it, girl. That's all I'm saying. Be a man. Stop looking at men's bodies and judging it. Stop it. Men don't do that. But anyway,
almost
be a man for real.
Water all over the laptop. I caught myself.
I'm just saying. I don't want to hear about no man belly. Stop it. You're a man. Put some bass in your voice. Put some bass in your posts. Let me stop. Put some bass in your posts. All right. Anyway, with that being said, and bass is, I don't mean audible bass, I mean spiritual bass. Anyway.
Oh man.
All right, man. Let's do our invocation then, man. Right? See, shout out to my beloved mother, Mistress Consort, at whom I'm well pleased. She is so helping me rehabilitate because I've been a warrior all my life. So she's like, put the scimitar down. I'm like, shout out to Brother J. He's like, put it back in the holster, Brother Hasan. He's like, man, you still got your finger on the trigger. I said, no.
Are you sure?
Scimitars are quieter. You mean put it back in the sheath, right? So let me stop. Okay. Let's move forward. All right, let's do this, right? All right, let's do this. Let me actually screen share so we can do our invocation in, all right? Share content. Screen, right? Started the broadcast for the screen share, right? And let's just take it right here to our iBooks, all right? And as we see, not only Brother Sean there in the thumbnail, guys, we also see right here, we have our beloved and magnanimous brother in whom we're well pleased and prophet, Noble Drew Ali, standing due guard, all right, having his hand with fingers closed on the heart chakra, right? Even that thumb is very close, all right? So in his abba, all right, just looking like the number 7 right there, just under, under his hand, right? He had to go around his elbow just to get his thumb. Hey. He had to go around his Capricorn just to get to his Cancer. Right? Right? Yeah. Oh, no, pardon me. He had to go around his Cancer just to get to his Gemini. Yes, I know people be like, well, I thought the skeleton and the bones is Capricorn. Yes, Capricorn is the knees. However, even though the general, skeleton is under the rulership pertaining to Capricorn, however, the elbow is Cancer. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali had to go around his elbow, had to go around his emotions, just to get to what he wanted to really communicate to us. The thumb, ruled by Gemini, right? That's a mercurial statement there, right? So with that being said, guys, he had to kind of get around his moon, had to get around his moon, just to get to Mercury. Get to some really quick and fast communication. All righty, guys. Let's zoom in on here, man, on the divine constitution and bylaws for the Moorish divine and national movement of the world, Moorish holy temple of science, doing religious corporate activity doing religious corporate activity as Moorish Science Temple of America. All righty. And that's denotatively spoken properly. All right, so what we're going to do here, guys, we're going to have you guys look at our invocation in term, the Moorish American prayer, upon which Prophet Noble Drew Ali is standing squarely, or standing firmly on his square, at a 45 there. All righty, and Brother Sean is going to lead us in with the invocation in, and I'm going to repeat, Brother Sean. Islam. We're going to stand facing east, that is symbolic to us. Facing within, or going within ourselves, facing directional east is symbolic pertaining to going within, because east is within. We're going to have 5 appendages on the left hand completely extended, and just our index and middle appendage extended on the right, 5 on the left, 2 on the right, as we stand on the 45 like Prophet Noble Drew Ali's feet there. All righty, firmly. And I yield the floor to Brother Sean Ali Mel. Islam.
All right.
Islam.
Allah, Father Universe.
Allah, Father of the Universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice.
Allah
is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Drew Ali. Ameen.
Brother Sean, thank you so much, beloved brother. I'm going to go here, right? Oh, you know what, Brother Sean? you were supposed to read, I was supposed to read the prayer. I'm so used to Brother Benjamin doing it, but it's all good, right? So this is what we'll do. I'll read the letters to be read in every meeting, correct?
Indeed.
And you'll start off with the way of the Clavern, because guys, yes, we're finishing up. As you can see, guys, we're finishing up the way of the Clavern, right? We're finishing up there, all righty. The series for the Koran supersedes the Kloran, right? So we got this done in a moon cycle, which is pretty good because we'll be complete at the end of this live stream here with the Koran supersedes the Kloran. I know there's multiple layers and books of different, so-called schools of thought. However, the universal principles is what we're actually highlighting and emphasizing, alrighty, to be complete. And here we are on the administrative functions here, guys, as you can see, for the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, right? Slide Brother Sean on over, or maybe bring them on down, like prices, right? As you guys can see here, we're at page 84 and 85, and Moorish Holy Temple of Science administrative functions, right? Right here, the following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. It's what the capital A period, capital D period denotes, Anno Domini, right? Year dominating, right? They'll say the year of our Lord, but Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. Administrative functions, this is page 85 here. Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, founder. Chicago, Illinois. That's what, and that's Illinois State Republic, because it's a capital I and two lowercase L's with a period that denotes Illinois State Republic. State of Illinois would have been capital I, capital L. Let's just make sure we're clear on that. January for the JAN period, 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting, dear brother Islam, I am glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of quote unquote jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations pertaining to the earth, that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation. As an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finances badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that's facing the mothers. I know you're like, that's his nation. That's where a nation comes from a woman's womb. All right, they're all in our womb, actually. She has the nation in her womb. Every mother comes here with a nation in her womb already, right? It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish divine and national movement. So in other words, I was at Lewis Lincoln Emerson's governor's inauguration. Again, Lewis Lincoln Emerson. You can look Lewis Lincoln Emerson up, manifesting 23rd December, 1863. If I'm not mistaken, he's 23 years Prophet Noble Drew Ali's senior. All right. And I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Very interesting chart to look at too when you look at the inauguration for President Hoover. I mean, the transits look like a freaking sailboat. You can see why the Great Depression happened that year. I'm serious, what they call the Great Depression, but the Great Depression was because of Prophet Noble Drew Ali making a claim, making our a state claim, right? Chapter 47. All righty. Let's continue it. Second letter to be read in every meeting, guys, as we have here, is, on page 12 of the Moorish literature excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper. All righty. At Prophet Noble Ali graciously standing there, due guard again. All righty. And we're going there to page 13. All righty. So let's go on over here to page 13. All right. All right, Brother Sean, I'm going to slide you on over. Divine warning by the Prophet Noble Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to be read. Pardon me. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation, at each meeting. I kept saying ordered to be read because I was just thinking that really, man, I'd be having like almost catatonic moments and I'm wide up. But anyway, I kept ordered to be read, but ordered to read proclamation. All right, so the Prophet warns all Muslim rudder and sextant controllers ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It only causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple of the Prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their Prophet. If they lose confidence in their Prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state, that mindset that you had where I, the Prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet, Noble Ali, and if the Prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The Prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their Prophet in the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the Prophet through the will pertaining to all balanced law pertaining to the Zodiac, the will of Allah, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. All righty. Order by order. All righty. The Prophet Noble Ali. All right. And now, guys, our reading for today, guys, if you don't remember, if you don't know, we finna remind you to know. All right, so let's just take it back to the beginning. I know we're coming back to page 44, which is the document page, but it's actually page 46 pertaining to 60 pages. Clerigo, right? Which means inner guard, inner guard, inner guard. White book, not the white book. Kloran, Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Hey, this is my jam right here. I ain't even front, man. So if some of you guys can't handle that, Ku Klux Klan turned you off, I don't give a fuck. This is my jam, right? We've been jamming to this for the last, 3 holy days. So just looking at, a picture of our garments, got us in our garments and our horses in our garments and stuff. Que uno, right? Character, honor, duty, right? Interesting. K1 would be 11 and 1. That's a 3. Anyway, we won't go there. Imperial Palace, Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Look at that. That's in Atlanta, Georgia State Republic. However, as we go down further, then it says, see how I got the GA with the capital? Now that's state of Georgia. See the difference when I said earlier about when it's the capital letter and the lowercase successive letter? That's Georgia State Republic. But when you got capital G, capital A, that's state of Georgia. 2 different jurisdictions. 5th edition, copyright 1916 by W.J. Simmons, Atlanta, state of Georgia. They're all capital letters there. Are they all capital letters here? No, look, it's written properly in proper capitis minimis. Well, you know, look at that. It is proper. It's a proper spelling there, a proper orthography. Right? Is that what it's called, Brother Sean? It's called orthography, correct?
Correct.
Exactly. Spelling is orthography. So it's properly orthographically presented, unlike this one here, which is capitis diminutio maxima. Capitis diminutio maxima. The greatest loss of status. 5th edition, copyright 1916 by W.J. Simmons, Atlanta State of Georgia. Kloran, Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Hey, caution, this book is the property of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Hey, Jasper. Let me stop, yo. I want to stop. Hey, Prudence, tell Jasper start loading up the trip. Let me stop. It started already. I can't help it, bro. I'm telling you, this is my jam, bro. Because it's like you see the universality in the principles, man. You know, shout out to our international astrology colleagues. You know, Monday we had the class with Sam, you know, and I got called ballsy in class. Like, oh my God, Hasan, you're ballsy. Fuck, I gotta be, you know what I mean? Because anything else is just being a bitch ass, in my opinion, just respectfully saying, you know, a lot of people just kind of just always tiptoeing around shit and people or whatever. I don't have that in me. I gotta be honest, my mama ain't really raised me like that. She's like, don't be a follower, be a leader. And I guess she didn't expect me to not listen to her either, because I'm so not Jesusing it up. But I am, though. I'm not in the neophyte mind. I'm not in the believers. I'm always a student, but my faith, and I am faithful. But when you're full pertaining to the faith and you're faithful, then it's only obvious you're a master in contemplation, bringing things to fruition. Yet I call myself, nor any of us, masters. I'm just saying we're faithful. You know, how love leads to truth, truth leads to peace, peace leads to freedom, and freedom leads to justice, even though justice is going to take its course. Yet neophytes go to, you know, students, and then students become masters, especially when that student is faithful. All right, so with that being said, right, let's move forward. You know, we're just calling ourselves, you know, faithful, sincere, true, and faithful Moors. All right. The way of the claver. And this is where Brother Sean is going to get it. And going to start reading. All righty. And I'll do my, you know, my commentaries and ad libs as necessary, as they are called for, in accord with what Brother Sean is bringing here. All righty, so with that being said, Brother Sean, I'm going to slide it to the side. All right, slide that thumbnail to the side, bro, so we all can see what you finna read there. We're going to knock out these last 10 pages, guys. Last 10 pages of the Kloran, so we're going to go from page 44 to 54. Turn this thing on now. Yeah! All right, so you guys ready? Let's get this thing going, man. All right, we had a super lit morning, right? Brother Sean was like, yeah, Brother Sean had one of those moments.
It's still the same from I don't know how many moon cycles you go when you made that. It's like the lit morning. Like, yeah, Brother Sean be like, it's still the same.
It's still happening.
I was like 100+ messages. I'm like, yo, bro, it was lit.
Yeah. Brother Corey kicked it off. It was like 6:09 a.m. according to my phone. So I was like, oh man, he's kicking it off early. Cause I kicked it off early, a couple of days ago. It was like 5:20, 5:40 in the morning. Hey, y'all, you know what I mean? Sometimes I, apologize. Like, oh, babe, my bad. I should have muted my phone because it's like me. It's like, oh shit, the bros is on it. What time is it?
It'll literally be like, that's like the dual nature. Like, The rest of the bros be up early. Me, I'm sending things late, like bing, like my bad, bros. It's 1, 2, 3, but bing, bing. And then here I go, waking up. I'm like, man, bros been.
I know, right, bro? It's like super duper cool, man. But all right, so let me turn this way. Hey, JL, peaceful greetings to you, beloved. Happy holy degree to you, right? JL's always in the chat, man. Hey, yo, JL, whatever we do next Friday, man. If you want,
we want JL to hop in.
We don't know if you're working or not, and invite him to the green room. Hey, JL, come to the green room, man. You're definitely being supportive there. All right, at least you're showing up, and that's love right there. Okay, let me put this phone right here so I can kind of manage the chat a little and kind of monitor our presentation here. All righty, so with that being said, to my beloved brother, Sean L, and whom I'm well pleased, and I got there just behind me on the projected on the wall, the way of the clavern. So, Brother Sean, we want to slide you to the side so we can actually see everything. All righty. I yield the floor to you, beloved brother, as I eat this mango and lime. Islam.
Islam, indeed. All righty. The way of the clavern. I gotta move my little thumbnail too. All right. You will approach the outer door of the inner den and give Duran one rap and strike the O.
Oh, you gotta spit bars? That's what you gotta do, son? You gotta know how to. No, I'm kidding. A rap means knocking on the door.
Give one rap, and you gotta strike the O. And the clicks
like,
will answer
you. My name is Cletus, and I'm here to say I like to be with the clan in a special way. Is that the kind of rap? No, I'm kidding. All right, I yield. You want to see my face? Let me stop, yo. I can't. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Let the hand out your heart.
Sound like you need to have some rhythm and know how to bowl. You got to know how to rap and bowl because you got to do a strike. Let me stop. Go ahead. Yo, we're not making negative assertions towards the Ku Klux Klan organization or the Knights of Columbus, or we're not making fun. The thing is that when you guys really start analyzing these things, being love, being honor, but firstly being pure heart, being sincere intent, having Prophet Noble Drawley at the forefront, pertaining to your mind, and universal principles are easily detected, and you can lovingly enjoy. That's what we're doing. We're not really poking fun as much as we're lovingly enjoying it, being able to have the mindsets to see the comparisons. And I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Islam.
Islam. All right. Here we go. He then will open the wicked, and you will gas law. If I'm saying that correctly. He will say, quote unquote, who are you? You will give him your name as clansman, giving the name, number, and realm of your clan. He will say, quote unquote, advance and give the countersign. You will advance and whisper the countersign through the wicked. If you haven't the countersign, you will so inform the collector and produce your receipt, or otherwise satisfy him that you are no imposter. If you are qualified to enter, he will open the door and say to you, quote unquote, pass. You will pass into the inner den and say, Collector, what of the night? If there be candidates to be initiated or already present, he will say, quote unquote, strangers are near, be prudent. On hearing this, you will completely enrobe before entering the clavern. But if there be no candidates and no initiatory work to be done, he will say, quote unquote, all are known. Hearing this, you will not robe, but enter as you are. You will then approach the inner door and give thereon. You will then strike the FC. At this, the clerigo will open the wicket and say, quote, who is it and what is your business?
All right, who goes there? Let me stop. Go ahead.
You will answer, I am clansman, whoever you are.
Klansman Jasper. Let me stop. Go ahead. Klansman Clayton. Go ahead.
I seek entrance to the cavern to meet with my fellows. If necessary, he will demand your receipt or ascertain of the Klegrap if you are entitled to enter. If so, he will then open the wicket and say, quote unquote, password. If the same is correct, he will open the door and say, quote unquote, pass, Klansman. You will pass clear of the door, stop, stand erect, and jeet side and hold same until someone answers it. Then pass on to the sacred altar. Face the station of the EC, then face the mounted flag in Jetna, then face the EC and GTS of C, then raise toasts if you are not enrobed. If you are robed, you will remove your helmets instead of raising toasts. Then Jitsak C, which will be answered by the exalted Cyclops, would soar. You then will take your seat. If you are robed and the others have their helmets on disguised, you will not remove your helmet, but will take your seat without disclosing your identity. If the exalted Cyclops is engaged, you will give Tisak C to the cliff. All right, let's see. To retire from the cavern, while same is in session, you will advance to the sacred altar, face the exalted Cyclops and lower sauce, or put on your helmet. Then Jitsak C, if he answers you with Tasog, you may retire. If the exalted Cyclops does not answer you, you must raise Tazos and return to your seat. On going out of the cavern, you must remove and conceal your robe and helmet in the inner den of the cavern. All right. During the deliberations of the conclave, if you wish to talk to the assembly, make a motion, or even second a motion. You must arise to your feet, then address the exalted Cyclops by saying, quote unquote, Your Excellency, and touching your forehead with the ends of the fingers of your right hand. If he recognizes you, turn the palm of your right hand toward him and drop your hand. Then you may speak. He will recognize you by looking at you and saying, quote unquote, Klansman. If he does not recognize you readily, then drop your hand and resume your seat, and later try again. No man or mind will be in order unless he gets the recognition of the exalted Cyclops by addressing him thusly. The gavel is the emblem of authority pertaining to the exalted Cyclops, and its signals must be rigidly respected. Any disrespect shown the exalted Cyclops during the conclave is an insult to the entire clan which he serves and an affront to our emperor whom he represents in his official capacity. The entire clan is under direct obligations to command due respect from any and all without fear or favor. All right.
That's right.
Rick.
You telling niggers. Let me stop. I'm kidding. I'm just me quoting Dave Chappelle because I don't think real Klansmen are like that. I don't see that. Not in this way of the clavering type stuff. Not in the clerigo. Not in this inner guard. The inner guard doesn't seem hateful.
Yeah, definitely.
So I call bullshit on those that say they're KKK and they're not embodying these principles that I'm reading. All right, I yield.
Islam. All right, one rap of the gavel calls for silence.
Young punk. Dragonfly Jones. Go ahead. Oh man.
Silence and attention, whether you stand or sit. All right. Two raps of the gavel call for silence and two seats. Three raps of the gavel call all to their feet. Remember, all are given with the LH and A only when B are not required. So let's see, we got VSA, VSN, SOG, same is used for SOR, SOCK, SOKLS, SOFC, SOP, ATSOP, SOS, OTSOS.
Yo, I tried. Yo, stop. Yo. All right, go ahead. You done?
KS, NH, TK, okay.
Okay.
And juice. All right, so
okay.
We got the conversation.
What?
Conversation.
What? Stop.
TK.
I know, right? I am smoking on that gas. Let me go ahead, man. I'm kidding. No. I'm not smoking any octanes. Go ahead. No 93s for me, or 87s, or whatever.
It's just ethereal spirits that I breathe in, inhale.
I know, right? All
right. Let's see. All right. After the instructions have been given, the cloak card will say, quote, the clad will now conduct you to the exalted Cyclops, where you will receive from him the CS and PW, the sacred symbol, and imperial instructions to which give earnest heed, end quote. The clad conducts the party to the station of the EC and says, quote, Your Excellency, these clansmen, or this clansman, having been instructed in the way of the clavern, now awaits to receive from you the CS and PW, the sacred symbol of the clan and imperial instructions, end quote. The EC will arise and say, quote, my fellow clansmen, or clansmen, the insignia or mark of a clansman is honor.
Whoa. That's funny because that's one of the first things I learned, like when taking nationality and birthright seriously. Like I already knew I wasn't Negro, Black, colored when I was 8 years old, despite my family members trying to push that shit. But I learned about nationality and birthrights in the 3rd grade. So shout out to Miss Zabiaka, right? Who's probably Miss Civic now, right? She probably doesn't freaking remember me. But yeah, man, St. John's Lane Elementary School, right around the corner from the Benjamin Banneker Museum, right? Emmanuel Benbe Ali's museum that's out there near the Howard County Corporation, Maryland State Republic. So shout out to Miss Zabiaka turned Civic, because I will never forget 30 years ago when she did the, so that's when I was in the 3rd grade 30 years ago, when we did the projects on Kenya and Switzerland. And I learned about nationality then. That's why it wasn't hard for me to really take it seriously about 8 years ago. All right. So with that being said, yeah, it is what it is, guys. I'm telling you, honor was one of the first things I learned. We must always be in honor, right? Not just in contracts, guys. This is the spirit of the law must be on your dial plate. And, you know, some people it's kind of hard for them because they've been well trained and socially engineered and well conditioned. It's really hard for them to let go of the lie. Because They think they're in love with lies.
Mm.
They're in love with lies. I want to say thank you, smelly much. No, that's not how I go. Okay, I yield. All secrets.
All secrets and secret information pertaining to the invisible empire is committed to you on your honor. A Klansman values honor more than life itself.
Yo, read that again, bro. What did you just say about on your honor?
All secrets and secret information pertaining to the invisible empire is committed to you on your honor.
That's why, even more, you shouldn't be saying your honor to bankers in an abba, sitting the bench, bunk, right? You should always be like, my honor, period. Of course, they'll try to threaten you into their way of the clavern. I'm not even fucking kidding. I yield the floor, bro.
Islam. All right. A Klansman values honor more than life itself.
You're motherfucking right.
Be true to honor, then to all the world you will be true.
That's right, bro. You gotta remain, stay in honor, remain in honor. That's what we do, bro. I don't care how it looks like, bro. We don't care what these people think, how we should be keeping up with the Joneses, bro. Our thing is to stay in honor. You know, some people like, yo, why don't y'all just get a job? Because that's breaking the law, actually. Oh, well, why don't y'all just, charge this? Because that's breaking the law. We really comprehend what law breaking actually is. It's just that it's not enough people not willing to break. There's not enough people that are willing to not break the law with us because they're comfortable breaking the law. Because they've been conditioned to break the law and it's been termed life. That's not your life you're living. You're breaking the fucking law. You're a criminal. And the law that's being broken is the law of nature. The law pertaining to nature. However, I yield the floor. Islam.
Yes, let's see where we on the world
be true, or we passed that already?
We passed that. Yeah, we next page. All righty. Gotcha. Always remember that an honorable secret committed is a thing sacred. Quote, I am about to commit to you 3 vital secrets pertaining to the invisible empire. The CS and PW and the sacred symbol, the MIOAK, 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 I'm going to say. Do you swear to forever hold them in secret reverence, even unto death? The CSPW enables you to meet with and enjoy the fellowship of Klansmen and conclave assembled.
Now that's the difference already. Me being Moorish American has never had to take an oath of death or a death oath of any kind at all. Prophet Noble Ali came to remove the covers from all secret organizations. Why do you think we're doing what we're doing here? We're removing the covers. That's all. We're just removing the covers. I yield. I'm tearing this mango up. I yield.
It seemed a little hot. Let me pull those covers off of you. No, I want to be hot and sweaty. Hey, man, you want to sweat and be hot? Hey.
Take that mask off. Mask off. Bucket mask off.
For the present and until change, the CS in the PW is mask off. Alrighty, let's see. The CS and PW enables you to meet with and enjoy the fellowship of Klansmen and Conclave Assemble. Quote, for the present and until change, the CS is and the PW is. The Mioak, the sacred symbol of the clan, is that. It explains what it is by which clansmen recognize each other without word, sound, or sign. I now present you with the material insignia of a clansman, the sacred symbol of the clan by the name Mioak. Be faithful in its wearing. It must be worn on your person where it may be readily seen. Tell no person in the whole world what it is, its meaning and significance, even by hint or insinuation, as it is a positive secret of the clan. Don't fail to recognize it by whomsoever it is worthily worn. Always appreciate its sacred significance and be true to same. As a test of your honor, I invest you with this symbol and commit you its sacred secret, end quote. He pins on the breast of the new clansman the insignia and explains its symbolic meaning. Quote, you will now receive imperial instructions. Carefully preserve and seriously study this document and give earnest heed to same, for on the practice of its teachings in your daily life depends on your future advancement. You, or each of you, now are instructed clansmen, possessing all the rights, privileges, and protection as such, will take your place with clansmen in the sacred fellowship pertaining to the invisible empire, end quote. The EC will then give 2 raps with his gavel, take his seat, and proceed with the other business. Alrighty, lecture number 1, K1. The noble achievements pertaining to the Ku Klux Klan shine with undiminished effulgence through the gathering mist of accumulating years, an eloquent tribe to the chivalry and patriotism of the past, and the holy heroism of our fathers in preserving to us the sacred heritage of a superior race.
Oh, stop. Whoa. Who's that superior race? Because it don't sound like they're talking about them right there. Oh, political supremacy. It's political. Okay, yeah. It's effulgence, right? Undiminished effulgence through the gathering mist of accumulating years and an eloquent tribute to the chivalry and the patriotism of the past and the holy heroism of those that killed off beings, let me stop, that are actual native to the land, who are bound to the continent by heritage that you killed off or tried to, sex your way into with the native women, right? Okay, I yield. Go ahead. I'm listening, bro.
Islam. All right. Political supremacy, racial integrity, social peace and security, and to humanity, the boon of cultured civilization. Sounds like some political, economical, and social freedom right there. It sounds like they copying off CMB too. All right. It abides the malicious slanders of the age and is an inexhaustible source of inspiration to those of this generation who aspire to all things noble and good for themselves, our country, and our race.
Their country and their race. Oh, I wonder which one they are, the tortoise or the hare. Oh, it's not that kind of race? Not that kind of race? Okay. It's not the 40-meter relay? I mean, relay?
It ain't the 4x1?
It would be relay with them, though. Let me stop. Go ahead, I yield.
Let's see. When the shuddering peals of the thunder of the impending storm pertaining to the American Reconstruction were heard above the fading echoes of the battles of the Great Civil War. The chosen victims stood aghast and pale, wondering the meaning
Hold
and
on,
purpose
stop.
of the gathering gloom.
Hold on, we gotta read that again. When the shuddering peals pertaining to the thunder. That's a sound, right? They're giving this, poetic description pertaining to the impending storm, pertaining to the American Reconstruction, were heard above the fading echoes pertaining to the battles pertaining to the Great Civil War. The chosen victims stood aghast. The victims were chosen. It's like, okay, hey, look, we're having tryouts. Welcome to Victim Idol. Bim, 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 bim. Today, we're hosting a most elegant contest of auditions today. Who would like to come on up and be a victim? We would like to choose a few victims today to stand aghast and be pale, wondering at the meaning and purpose of the gathering gloom. So, welcome all. Victim Idol and shit. Anyway, I yield, bro. What the fuck?
Right. Darkness gathered apace, and the demons were loosed from hell's most dismal depths. The blighting hand of devastation complete was laid heavy upon the Southern people.
Whoa. Uh-huh.
A people pauperized.
Whoa, stop. Pauperized means made poor, which means they weren't at first. Woo, Prince and the Pauper. Like when you put in, hey, I know that I don't have to get Federal Reserve notes because I'll be breaking the law in this so-called tribunal/court case. So what I'm going to do is do some informa pauperis. So even right here, okay, well, even according to your clavern and how you exercise within your clavern, you're already in the spirit, in your clerigo, in your inner guard. If you're one who sits a bench, maybe not, who knows? You should already comprehend informa pauperis. Informa pauperis. Informa pauperis. Bleeding, prostrate, and defenseless. I wonder who they were. Continue.
Indeed. These noble people turned to the power pertaining to the national government for protection, but were spurned away with contempt and scorn. They had been promised protection and the possession of property and the pursuit of peaceful employment and in every political and civil right formerly possessed by them as citizens of the national commonwealth. But the national government, by the shameful deviltry of its unscrupulous manipulators, repudiated that solemn promise and inaugurated the most disgraceful epoch in the annals of the nations against that unharmed, defeated, defenseless, and submissive people.
Now, when you just read that, it kind of made me think about, okay, how when the Sultan pertaining to Morocco was able to recognize the United States/British monarch joint venture termed United States of America. All right, so when that venture taking place, there may have been some of our Albion sons and daughters that there was just promises from, the Sultan, because he comprehended the karmic debt. However, there are some Moors that was like, fuck this, we're hitting these ships. we don't want this amalgamated creature here. Right? So maybe that's what it was. Maybe there was just some that was in the spirit of not being in harmony with the national government. I wonder who that was. Sounds like the Sultan of Morocco or the Moroccan Sultan, right? Aziz Ibn Suad, right?
Indeed.
All righty, I yield.
Mm-hmm. It's great people, defenseless and friendless, with a pestilence upon them more terrorizing than the 7 plagues of sense consciousness or Egypt.
Yeah, mental bondage to sense consciousness. That is Egypt. Mental bondage to sense consciousness. Even when now you're reading this, it makes me think, okay, maybe it's talking about us. It's talking about the Greek people now. That's not our Albion sons and daughters. So if they're talking about people that were already here, that were decimated and made defenseless, then here's an admitting that they did the people wrong. Sort of kind of. It's kind of like, yeah, you know, like them over there that kind of look like us, but ain't us that did that to them people, but that ain't us. That kind of what it sounds like. That's kind of what it sounds like. Anyway, yep. Call to the nations of the earth. Whoa, that sounds like something I read in Prophet Noble Drali's literature just earlier. Go ahead.
It's called to the nations of the earth, but none heard their cry.
Because they didn't have what they needed as their divine and earthly salvation as American citizens. They're too busy not being themselves. But that's just what it sounds like. We're not going to say who that may be. Continue.
That call was a horribly medley full of intense anguish, melancholy, groans, and manly men struck down, mingling with the sickening, penetrating sighs of distressed women and a plaintive cry of hunger, cladless child.
Hungry, cladless child, right? So, man, there's so many things coming to my mind, like the story in the Helios Bibliothèque when the woman's waiting on Jesus and like a man, woman, and child come knocking on her door asking her for provisions. And she's like, man, you get the fuck out of here, man. I'm waiting on Jesus. And then Jesus, that's basically like how it goes in the Bible. And then Jesus like finally comes to the door in this anthropomorphic tale. And she answers the door. She's like, man, what's going on, man? I've been waiting for you. I thought you was going to be here early. He's like, I showed up 3 times and you denied me all 3 times. I came in the form of the man, the woman, and the child, and you denied me 3 times, right? Which is another foreshadowing to Peter denying Jesus 3 times in the anthropomorphic tales of the political fictions shrouding the astro-Masonic fact termed the Helios Bibliothèque. Some people say Helios Bibliothèque, contemporarily termed since 1611, the Holy Bible. All right, with that being said, my beloved brother, whom I'm well pleased, I yield the floor to you, Islam.
Yes,
This melancholy orchestra.
On this melancholy orchestra, grief touched the chords of universal sadness and played the direful dirge of death over the slaughtered corpse of civilization. Dun, 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 dun.
That's the dirge. I yield.
Constitutional law was stripped by profane hands of its virtuous vestments of civilized sovereignty of 4,000 years in the making.
Whoa, stop. Whoa. Woo! That sounds like a little extra more 2,000 years before Christ. Anyway, go ahead.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. I yield, bro.
All right. And was mocked by polluted political pirates and legislative assemblies.
Woo! Man, you can't tell me this ain't jam for y'all too, man. I'm telling you, our Albion Sons is telling it.
You know the jam. Come on.
That's my jam. Move it on, keep it strong. Don't you let it go. It's a groovy night. Kind of that type jump. Anyway, go ahead.
And by the diabolical enactments of these assemblies, The hands on that dial pertaining to the clock, pertaining to the civilization.
Ooh, sounds like astrology. Okay, I yield.
Of human progress were turned back thousands of years.
Yo, look at that. Cause didn't CM Bay talk about human progress and the zodiac?
Yes.
And come on, yo. Like, we not bringing the right book at the right time, yo. Like, how many lessons and classes online, things we did for free, things we got for donations on our website? Like, come on, y'all. Is we not really bringing y'all what's Prophet Noble Drew Ali came to remove the covers from all secret societies. We are inspired by having Prophet Noble Drew Ali at the forefront of our mind, being pure heart, being sincere intent, being love, being honor, and look what your brother is reading you. I can almost, I'm trying to tell you, you can sit down with this book and Prophet Noble Drew Ali's literature and CM Bay's literature and be like, yo, this is really a vegan ordeal. There's no need to really beef. Motherfuckers is not on principle, and that's what it is. I yield.
And the name pertaining to law and national authority, the property of the husband and father was ruthlessly snatched from him without provocation by the venal hand of unholy confiscation.
Confiscation. Yeah, that, give me that, without asking.
Paupers by the multitude were made in a day.
Whoa, bro. Imagine you had generations of wealth and you were made a pauper. You're now in the form pertaining to a pauper. By the multitude. I yield. Carpetbaggers.
Carpetbaggers, the vultures of glutinous greed, swooped down from their eyrie on the lofty peaks pertaining to the mountains of national authority over the additional plane of human helplessness, fastened their tortuous talons in the fleece of defenselessness, innocence, and consumed with avaricious avidity.
With avaricious. Avaricious is like greedily, stingily, because avarice is also kind of like jealously. With like this greedy, jealous avidity.
The vital flesh of the people's sustenance, and the scallywags, the conscienceless, cadaverous wolves of treason.
Cadaverous wolves, which means they're black. They honor not their ancient foremothers and forefathers, and they're a dead body. A cadaver is a dead body that you practice cutting into when you want to become a surgeon. I yield.
Indeed. Gnawed the bones remaining to a baleful state of ghastly bleaching.
Woo!
The chastity of the mother, wife, sister, and daughter was imperiled, and their sacred persons were placed in jeopardy to the licentious longings of lust-crazed beast in human form.
In other words, anything that had a vagina got raped. With no, it was fucking it and fuck the consent. That's what they just said there. I yield, continue.
Yes, might ruled over right.
And therefore this defenseless people who are only made defensive because they're peaceful, at this point, the lesson was learned that there's some karmic debt shit that probably happened a long time ago. And now, chickens are coming home to roost, and it seems sad and it's really fucked up and all this shit. However, we did these experiments or whatever, going from giants to other forms, and then we're mixing our genes with the chimpanzee, and then you got the pale skin, and now the pale skin wants to make artificial intelligence. There's just this, let's just keep making a lesser version of ourselves so we feel superior over it. Okay, I hear you. I yield.
Islam. Life and living and that's my monkeys in your voice, but life and living was made intolerable,
which means it was very tolerable before this moment. Go ahead, continue.
The rasping Discordant notes of penury had displaced the heavenly harmony of domestic happiness, and no man's home was secure.
That's why you got fucking mortgages all over the fucking place. People being tenants, the people being keepers, and the keeper is both the tenant and the banker. However, that's why you get a motherfucking tax lien certificate from the IRS, which supersedes the ownership, supersedes the keepers. One who holds the tax lien certificate actually supersedes the keepers. So that way you can take possession of a property, especially if no one's in it. And if the banker is trying to go, oh no, it's a mortgage on here, fuck you. That's what they don't want a lot of you guys to know. You can kill that mortgage, you pay that tax lien, pay a tax. That's how it is in that. However, if you're really well studied, you don't have to be concerned about reaching into your pocket for Federal Reserve notes at all because you're not a fucking criminal. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that means you will be living lawfully and well studied to know what documentations to actually put in to feed your family, right? To be free of the mortgage or free of your rent, so to speak. Shameless no plugs. All right, so with that being said,
all right, let's see, move this thumbnail over. All right, ignorance, lust, and hate seized the reins of state, and riot, rapine,
rapine,
and universal ruin reigned supreme. The highest form of cultured society was thrust down, and its noble neck was forced under the iron heel of pernicious passion. Pernicious passion, who yielded a potent scepter of inquisitorial oppression. And the very blood of the Inquisition. Asian race was seriously threatened with the everlasting contamination. Goodness.
A potent scepter of inquisitorial oppression. Yo, they're telling the truth right here. What the fuck happened?
Jesus Christ.
The very blood of the Caucasian race was seriously threatened with an everlasting contamination. So this is what I'm saying. It's on both sides, man. I think that there were at one point in time Moors and Albions that were in agreement. And then there were some Moors and some Albions like, fuck that agreement. And those Moors and Albions is like, we don't like each other, but we got a common enemy right now. And that's these unified motherfuckers over here. But we're all kith and kin on this planet, so to speak. We all, one mother's breast have given us son. So we're really playing ourselves in the long run. However, it's that admixture within us that just keeps things so kind of stupid and angry. And that's why some people are just going to be casualties of war because they can't think past the indoctrination that they've been hypnotized into. I yield the floor, my beloved brethren, whom I love, please. Islam.
That anguished Latin cry of that defenseless people of the Southland was heard and answered by the gallant knights of the invisible empire. And not one, faltered.
Not one faltered or failed.
As duty pointed the way in the cause of humanity and civilization. With a grim smile of sacred duty resting upon their manly countenances, impaled by an instinct of the race, they leaped into the saddle, borne upon the back of their faithful steeds, baptized with a suffusion of tears. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Veni, Vidi, Vici. No ja rule. What would I be without my baby? So anyway, go ahead.
What would I be without the KKK?
I yield. Go ahead.
Oh man. Okay. All right. From over the mysterious borderland, from the empire pertaining to the soul, the Ku Klux claim.
Yeah, the Ku Klux came. So in other words, there was basically some Albion sons that were like, we're not gonna take it. no, we ain't gonna take it. And so they heard everybody's cries, baptizing themselves in their tears, and they're like, we're gonna fucking fight. Right? That's just kind of what it sounds like to me. However, I yield.
Islam, they were knight errantry and the highest, noblest, and greatest form personified. They responded to that call 100,000 strong and rode forth with no blast of the trumpet or cheering shouts of the populace. Without the inspiration of oral eloquence or stirring strains of martial music, they rode forth to brave dangers and hardships unknown and to face death in 1,000 forms.
Yeah, that's kind of where this is. Like even Prophet Noble Ali said, the European will not give up until he have to face death. I have to look death in the face. That's when they'll give up. Look at that. That's why we need to just, get things together, man. We're for peace and not destruction. However, continue.
Mm-hmm. They dissipated the cruel storm of their American Reconstruction and won the plaudits of an intelligent, unprejudiced world. They stemmed the murky tide of despotic usurpation and tyrannical greed and rescued the entire country from utter disgrace and ruin. They re-established racial rights and the sovereignty of constitutional law, redressed the wrong, made secure political supremacy, started anew the wheels of industry, and made possible the birth of the greatest nation of all time.
That was the birth of a nation right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
That's what was kind of in my mind too.
The Klansman, right? The birth of a nation was inspired by the book The Klansman. All right, continue.
Was a quote unquote fiery cross, symbol of the purest
and most loyal patriotism.
As their beacon, the Ku Klux rode through the darkness of Reconstruction's night. They dispelled the dense darkness of that frightful night, and at the rising of the sun of a glorious day, they saw the shades of that awful night receding.
This is why I said, really, the Ku Klux Klan is just really our deputy muftis, actually. Sound like, hey, man, some shit was going on unfair. You know what I mean? And hey, man, so who knows? That's why I said, you really check. Ku Klux Klan might have been both Albions and Moors. I'm just, hey, I think there's some truth to all jokes. And Dave Chappelle, I think, was on to something. Period. I yield.
Indeed. Let's see. Right had been by them established over might. The voice pertaining to music was again heard in the land. Their purpose and mission was ended. They laid aside their spotless robes, and the greatest order of chivalry in all history disbanded, for the Ku Klux rode no more.
Because they didn't have to, right? Because everything was set right. Right is now over might. So that's why, I mean, all this violence and all this other stuff, man, people should know what's really going on. It seems like at the end of the day, what's really running it? Is it Klansmen that are also lodge masons, or are they doing a lodge masonry within their clavern, whatever the case may be? This is why we are to make sure we know the right words to speak and not be adjudicated upon by corporate policies upon, with which we're not members to. The noble ride.
The noble ride of the Ku Klux Klan is immortalized by their accomplishments and is memorialized by the men of today who appreciate the chivalric, holy, and patriotic achievements of the original Klan and the permanence of this our great fraternity. The spirit of the Ku Klux Klan still lives and should live a priceless heritage to be sacredly treasured by all those who love their country, regardless of section, and are proud of its sacred traditions. That this spirit may live always to warm the hearts of manly men, unify them by the spirit of holy clannishness, to assuage the billowing tide of fraternal alienation that surges in human breast and inspire them to achieve the highest and noblest in the defense of our country. Our homes, each other, and humanity is the paramount ideal of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
Protect your prophet and your temple. That's what I heard there. Go ahead, I hear.
When the baleful blast of Reconstruction storm was over, the valiant, chivalric Ku Klux rode no more, but ride on and on, the spirit of that mystic clan, and your noble mission for humanity's good, until the clannish tie of clancraft binds man to man, for our country, our homes, and womanhood. Quote, non sibla sed anthar, end quote. All say in unity, not for self, others. Come on, man. That ain't seeing Bay right there. Freedom's everybody.
That's what I'm saying, yo. This is you. Hey, yo, I ain't got no beef with no Ku Klux Klan member, provided they're embodying these principles here, man. Anybody talking that Willy Bobo bullshit about, you know what I mean, they gonna do this, the niggers and all that, they talking self-hate because the nigger is the pale skin. I'll repeat it again. If you're pale skin, if you're white and you think you're white, but you're really not white, but I just said it like this so I can just get your ears for a second. You're not white. You're a fucking black person. You're black. You're pale. Pale denotes black. Made, aghast, and pale. However, the natural pale people are that are albion, right? Skin is paled a little bit. It's really just kind of peachy looking, depending on that too, or depending on how the admixture has been made. However, at this point, it's so much admixture that has gone on. It's some Moors with nigger in them, and it's some niggers with a little more in them. All right. But the troglodyte nigger is that being that is chimpanzee. All righty. And the result of mixing the chimpanzee genes with our genes is what the pale skin is. So at this point, it's a great redemption that's happening. All righty. And the pale skin are our sons and daughters. And when I say our sons and daughters, I mean Moorish Americans, whether you like it or not. You just haven't come to certain mindsets yet, so to speak. That's where you haven't come to certain, clues, certain states you haven't traveled to yet. So when you hear certain things that we speak on, it seems like what you say, ballsy, right? On Monday in class. Hasan, you're ballsy. Okay, whatever. I'm just moving you over, Brother Sean, because I wanted people to be able to see me, because I realized that when I put this to the side, boom, you're not going to see me again in the top right-hand corner. But if I bring you back out or whatever, hey, look, I'm back too. So with that being said, that's really why I did that portion here. However, let's just move forward, bro, right? Non silba seed antar. Not for self, but for others. That's how we always been thinking. So shout out to all the package sellers that are keeping packages and keeping packages captive. Free my man packages. Stop holding packages captive, man. Free my man packages. Stop prostituting packages out there, man. Goodness gracious. Unless it's really sincere, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I know. When it comes to Seven Hill Star demonstration, man, I know people be trying to look for something. They're like, fuck, these motherfuckers is all on point. Yeah, we are. It's because we're being pure heart, being sincere intent, being love, being honor, having prophet noble duality at the forefront pertaining to our minds. Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, titles and explanations. I yield the floor, bro. Unless you want me to go through this a little bit. You want to go bar for bar? You read one, I read the next one?
Indeed.
Go ahead.
The invisible empire, geographically the universal jurisdiction pertaining to the order.
A realm, a subdivision pertaining to the invisible empire, a state or territory of the United States.
Province, a subdivision of a realm, a county, or a number of counties of a state or a territory.
Ooh! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. A clanton, the jurisdiction pertaining to a clan from Canton. denoting a corner or a small district. Oh, the Clanton of Columbia. Yo, welcome to Washington, Clanton of Columbia. No, that's not that's not it. It's that district. All right, I yield.
Oh man, the imperial convocation is the convention pertaining to the invisible empire and is the supreme legislative body of the order. From convocation, an assembly called by higher authority.
Yeah, like when they picking a new pope from the cardinals. That's called a convocation, a conclave. I mean, it's called a concave, right? No, it's called a conclave. It's called a conclave, actually. We're all researching. Don't ask me shit. Go and research it. When they're picking new popes from the cardinals, it's called a conclave. CONCLAVE. All right. With speaking, right? Con, with, together. Voc, coming from voca, that's to speak. So a state of speaking together, because shun is like state of, or the standing, the mind state in which we're in. So we're in this mindset to speak together in an assembly called higher authority, called by higher authority, right? All right, I yield, right? Because assemblea is Moorish Latin for church, just like iglesia is Moorish Latin for church. Church is the circle. We're here taking you to church. Zodiac. Okay, is it on me now? Here I go.
Indeed.
The Clorero. That sounds like a new like Hyundai or something. New from Hyundai, the all new sporty V6 Clorero. It's like the yo. Hey yo, I'm about to put some dubs on this Clorero. We're not making negative assertions. All right, this is love. The Clorero is the convention pertaining to a realm from Corero, a convention. So hey, there's two types of conventions there, right? Sort of, kind of, ish, but not really. Right? Where do we see that? Yeah, with the convocation is the convention of the invisible empire, right? So that's for them, for the geographically, the universal jurisdiction of the order. Chapter 47 for us is our, very visible empire. It's not invisible at all. It's very much there. Okay, anyway.
Let's see, Converse.
Oh yeah, Converse, there you go.
Is the assembly of a province.
For a Converse bar. No, let me stop. Yeah, go.
What would you do for a Converse bar?
I know, right?
Is the assembly of a province from converse as in a conversation or conference.
A conclave is the gathering in secret session pertaining to a plan from conclave, a secret meeting or locked room. The great meeting is on. Okay, I yield.
The government pertaining.
So when people say the government, they really referring to the clan. Okay, let me stop. Go ahead.
The government pertaining to the invisible empire is vested with the imperial wizard, the emperor, assisted by his 15 genii, the imperial officers constituting his official family. The government of a realm is vested with a grand dragon, assisted by his 9 hydras, the grand officers. The government of a province is vested with a great titan, assisted by his 12 furies, the great officers, and a clan is governed by an exalted cyclops, assisted by his 12 terrors, the elective officers of a clan.
Man, I just heard levels of astrology.
Tell the Europeans to teach you how to run the government.
Yeah, I know, right? Teach you how to run, right? I'm gonna leave the European here long enough to teach you how to run your visible empire by you observing their invisible
empire.
right? So the Imperial Wizard, right, has 15 genie. So that's 16 of them. That equals a 7. The Imperial officers, right? So the genie. So the Imperial Wizard's Aladdin. All right. He's got 15 genies. So he's got some lamps, right? Prince Ali, it's me, Ali Ababa. All right, anyway. The government, again, it's the clan. If you don't know that government starts with family, and the government is really your mother, period. That's it. That's all. That's the only visible government is your mother, and all those that descend from said womb pertaining to mother. Yeah. So if it's an invisible empire, that means it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Not bullshit. It's not real. It's not substantive. It's only in the minds pertaining to those that think it's real. Oh, why didn't they take the L out of the Kloran though and say Koran? That's some BS. You did it with conclave and converse and clorero and convocation, but you ain't gonna say Koran, is you? You ain't gonna. Why, son? Albion sons, I demand an edit of your clerigo and make sure that this part for the Kloran says the book of the clan, rituals and lectures like the Koran for Moorish Americans, our mothers and fathers. That's what that part should say on the 5 on the left, 2 on the right page. Right? Definitely. Okay, just wanted to make sure I make that known. All righty, there you go, Brother Sean. I yield.
All right, Clavern, the meeting place pertaining to a clan. From Cavera, a large cave.
Oh, so they're the cavemen. All right, clan, the unit pertaining to the order. From clan, a number pertaining to minds, pertaining to kindred purpose, who are bound together by an oath and who are very determined to enhance and protect each other's interest and welfare.
Clansman, a member of the clan. The title pertaining to the first order, or K Uno.
Whoa. So should we be like a rap group called K Uno? We the K Unos. I think all the Klansmen would buy our records and then be like, what the fuck is this? Prudence, tell Jasper to throw his swangs and stuff. Yo, they gonna be somebody be like, hold on there, Bubba. They spitting though. K Unos. Let me stop. The 11 ones, the master spiritual number ones. Do you see that? Because K is the master spiritual number 11. Clan courier, the title pertaining to the official organ. I yield.
Clavier, the soldier of the clan military department. From Cavalier, a courtly, polite, cultured, and very courageous and skillful soldier pertaining to the 17th and 18th century.
1800 and 1900s. Okay, got you. I mean 1600s and 1800s. Got you. Because the 17th century is the 1600s and the 18th century is the 1700s. Cavalcade, a parade or other public, that's a military term too, public exhibition. From cavalcade, a procession. Oh, that sounds like a mummers parade. Okay, go ahead, I yield.
Anno Clan, and the year of the clan, written thus, AK.
Oh, they got the AK-47. Okay, Anno Domini. Hey, I spoke about this before. In the year of our Lord, thus written, AD. I yield, bro.
Imperial Wizard, the emperor of the invisible empire, a wise man, a wonder worker, having power to charm and control. From Vita, to know. The title is taken from the chief officer of the original Ku Klux Klan, who was designated as the Grand Wizard.
Vita in Latin is also life. Vita, where the V is pronounced like the W. Vita is life.
Make sure you go watch the word, guys.
So to know is life. The emperor pertaining to the invisible empire, a wise mind, a wonder worker, having power to charm and control. That's funny. Baltimore is called the Charm City. From Weta to know. The title is taken from the chief officer pertaining to the original Ku Klux Klan, who was designated as the Grand Wizard. Right? Okay, my turn. The Caliph or Caliph, a successor in office. That's definitely Caliph then, and not Caliph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the Caliph. All right, go ahead. I yield. That's why they didn't say Caliph and took the L out and just said Caliph from C, Caliph. Okay. Okay.
Clocard, lecturer, teacher of the Klan. From Clo of Kloran, the book, and card, meaning a teacher or reader.
Oh, so a co-card would be, let me stop. Because co means together, but co also is coming from Koran, but then card, you know, like C-A-R-D, like your nationality card. which is you have that because you're here to teach the world now. Because in order to change the people, you must change their literature. I yield. Clud, chaplain, from Kuldi. Like Cool Modi? No, let me stop. The high priest pertaining to the ancient Druids. Druid Hill Park, right? Just about a few minutes, if not seconds, down the road from my Baltimore office. All righty, so with that, Druid Hill Park. Yeah, that's where your R&B group got the term Cisco Salome. Right, that's Druid Hill, right? Yeah, okay, but it's termed after Druid Hill Park, right? Where there's tons of mounds. Anyway, I yield to my beloved brother Islam.
Calligraph, the secretary. From chirographer, ones whose business is to write.
Oh, the chirographer. Because that, remember, what does chiro mean? C-H-I-R-O. It means hand. So someone graphing with their hand, a hand grapher. Chiro, C-H-I-R-O, which is the root in the 51-year cycle pertaining to the wounded healing described entity termed, or celestial body termed, Chiron. So the secretary from the chirographer, one who's big, that's the secretary, right? Okay, there you go. So the Secretary of State is the Calligraph. The Claby is the treasurer from Kaaba. Oh, look at that. Oh, you'll put Kaaba, but you won't put Koran. You'll put Kaaba, which is what people have to do their circumambulations around when they take their, I'm going to go to, what is that? They're going to go to Jew rope, right? What happened here? All right, any hoosers. Oh, that's what happened. Let me mute that mic so I'm not being picked up there. All right, so like I was saying, right? Oh, I still did it. Looky, Astro Cookie. Mute. All right, that's how I want it. So with that being said, oh, it keeps unmuting. Look at what is happening here. Well, wherever you can hear me or see me, it's either way, it doesn't matter. But this is what I mean by the electronics is doing things like, whoa, look at that. I didn't even mean for it to do that. Okay, so the Claby is the treasurer from Kaaba, right? What you take your circumambulations around, provided you take your Hajj to Mecca east instead of your Hajj near the Chicago Corporation, that Mecca. You all right? The, what could we say? Symmetrical Mecca. I would say that for, to keep it short. To keep and kiss. An ancient Egyptian coin. That's a pentacle, right? Isn't that what we wear? Don't I have this pentacle here on my chest? 5-pointed star, right? And means a purse. Whoa. And means a purse. Looky, looky, Astro Cookie. How you like them pomegranates, right? Like, what is that about? How you like them pomegranates? Right, Brother Sean, or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll just scroll up right here. I yield, beloved brother. It's on.
It's on Claude, the conductor from Kata, to lead or pull.
Clerigo, the inner guard from Cavio, to stop or beware. The interrogate, to question, right? That's more like the sergeant at arms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very much like the sergeant at arms. All righty, beloved brother, I yield.
All right, Clexter, the outer guard from Ken, to look all around with the eyes and external outside.
Kloran, an investigator from Ko, to know, and Kanos, with the eyes.
Klokan, the plural of Klokan, the board of investigators and advisors.
Imperial Concilium, the supreme executive committee composed of all the imperial officers.
Imperial Klepier, a supreme delegate, from the words delegate and peers.
Grand Dragon, a title from the original Ku Klux Klan, the chief officer of a realm.
Great Titan, a title from the original Ku Klux Klan, the chief officer of a province.
Exalted Cyclops, the chief officer of a clan. Cyclops is from the original Ku Klux Klan. So the Cyclops, the Exalted Cyclops is under the Great Titan. Great Titan is under the Grand Dragon. The Grand Dragon is under the Imperial Wizard. All right, continue.
All right, Kleagle, title of an organizer for the order.
Giant, a title from the original Ku Klux Klan. A clan giant is a past Exalted Cyclops. A great giant is a past Great Titan, and a grand giant is a past Grand Dragon. An imperial giant is a past Imperial Wizard. I yield.
Nighthawk, a title from the original Ku Klux Klan. He is a custodian of the Fiery Cross, which he carries in all ceremonies and cavalcades. He entertains waiting aliens just prior to the naturalization.
Ooh, he entertains waiting aliens just prior. Oh man, the custodian of the Fiery Cross. Nighthawk is kind of like the court jester. And that's all, guys. Bleep, 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 bleep. That's all. Folks. Right. No Porky. All right. K-Uno. You know what I mean? Clerigo. Nighthawking. All right. That's a square inside of a circle. Brother Sean, my beloved. Was that Arabic there? What was that? What was that? All right, so with that being said, let's take this back to the beginning to show you guys what we have been laying our eyes on. What have we been laying our eyes on? Do it real fast. Clerigo, White Book, Kloran, Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, right? Guys, this has been amazing, man. Really, really, really amazing read. I thank you all for really enjoying, this time with us. If you enjoyed it, let me go to the chat, man. I haven't really looked at that since we got on, and I shouted out JL. I didn't even post this. I thought I posted this to Facebook, man, and I must have put the phone down. So let me post that there, right? So we got that going, right? It reminds me, I should send it. I got to send the song to the brother Solomon. You know what I mean? Just out of respect. So let me see what we got here of work. Right. So with that being said, Brother Sean, any questions, comments, and or suggestions coming from this amazing read, bro?
No, that was great. I was just sitting there thinking the same thing, like, because, you know, like beforehand, you know, like before the Moor science, and, you know, really getting to studying, you know, like to hear, you know, something like this, of course, you're going to have the cognitive dissonance and be like, what? No, no. But like, no, now that, you know, that I study, that we study, you know, we read these different literatures, you know, it just really becomes clear on how it's supposed to be and who's violating the principle or who's, you know, being the screen actors, you know, like, you know, it's like nothing to be hateful for. So, you know, just like that episode, you know, let the hate out of your hearts, you know, like, man, the folks are missing out if they are not really watching these presentations. You know, we went from, you know, various different topics on Impromptu Improv to doing the whole Veritas presentation, you know, for 12 cycles. Now we just went in for 4 cycles on the Kloran. Like, if you ain't watched none of these and really baptize your mind, you have only yourself to blame when any of this comes up. And I yield.
Oh no, you good. You ain't got to yield. You can tell the people what you see right now, man. What's happening as we come into this close of our presentation right now? Oh, look at that. They have been well educated for the last 40 minutes. So the last 40 minutes, people have been getting that higher learning. All right. Why? What's on the rise,
so yeah, definitely some higher learning to wrap around your head and light your head on fire at the home. That you can teach your, you know, mothers and little ones how to love instead of hate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where's Mercury? You know, Mercury's, you know, in one of my favorite positions, you know what I'm saying, in Leo, and that's in the 9th. So wow, look, you're getting a double dose of higher learning here. You're getting the communication and the philosophy to change how you view things, how you approach. Because now, you know, you've came until you've been raised on one type of thinking, and now you're like, you know, it's what they would call that block, that wall, that challenge. It's like, oh, wait, it ain't really like that. It's not. So now you can climb the wall, or you can just give up and quit. Like, man, I ain't trying to do that. I mean, it's 2 options. So, you know, we brought the truth because we know the truth is needed, because we know that the people love the lie.
The moon is squaring its nose.
It is, yes. So once again, man, this is just some comfortable mysteries that we're shining the light and communicating to reset your values. So now that you can, you know, what they say, have downloads or re-spark your creativity now, because now you're able to see the light. So, you know, we're giving you the glasses to put on. They live. If you ain't watched that presentation, you know, and just really, man, like, it's beautiful. Like, it really is beautiful here. Let's see what else we got.
Yeah, you already know, bro, because we done did the delineations that just passed, man. So, you know, Luna's coming off of that square with Uranus, with Mars and Uranus, and now it's nodes, right? Coming off of that conjunction not too long ago with the sun, or it was more than not too long ago, it was a fortnight ago. And now about to approach its conjunction with Mercury, trining the part of fortune, technically, reflecting Saturn. Yeah, man, I think this is a very interesting read here. Coming off of a trine with Chiron. And we just got finished talking about Chiro, the chirographer, right? Chiro and Chiron, things like that, right? Okay, I yield to you, brother. That's what else is going. I just wanted to say what else is going. I yield.
You can't make this up. So yeah.
All right. Well, if you yield, then, bro, I'm gonna stop.
Just go in a little. Like,
so I say what you're saying. You didn't bring it back up.
For sure. No, that we have been the truth to secret societies, for those quote unquote hate groups. We just cleared all that up in 4 cycles. Over how many 100 years clear that up?
Bro, we know we are always inspiring people, giving people access to things. That's what Seven Hill Star does. And then people go and make copy and paste meme books and call it published literature or something. It's like, okay, whatever. I'm not knocking them because we're really getting to a point where it's like, man, when people really want something, they're sincere like us. But a lot of times people don't have the sincerity in them. So like Brother Corey said, the grand joke on the people is that we're the conduit that they are to reject and despise. And then they're going to be thinking they're on the plane with Moors and they're actually on a plane much lower. It's funny though. That's like the universal joke. That's the universal aha. Like remember, you got to get the information from somebody you don't really like. You should have been getting into personality liking and stuff. We should be on principle, like these Klansmen are describing in their Clerigo White Book. But I don't think you're guarding east. Where's your inner guard? Are you guarding east or not? Mm-hmm. Inner guard, right? Not Western guard. That's the outer guard, right? So with that being said, my beloved brother, whom I'm well pleased, Brother Sean Alim Mel, we want to let you, I and he would like to let you know, guys, go to 7hillstar.com, subscribe to our email list. You will not be disappointed. Check out the readings there, guys. And, once we finish up, like I said, guys, there's some things that's going to be changing by November. We're going to kind of change up the website, not make it look so cluttered, so to speak, even though it's not really. I think I just want to organize it a little in a way where you guys can really see what Brother Sean is offering with his reports. We all can do what Brother Sean is offering. It's just that I like to see which one of us is focusing on what part of what we're doing. However, Brother Sean is like, pew, 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 pew. So I want to make sure that when you guys go to see the different things that we're going to do, maybe we'll have a page each for everyone. However, I just wanted to be able, so when you guys can come and see it, Brother Sean has done an excellent job of making sure you can see the options that you have as we're building this thing while we're flying it. However, looking at different things and different tools we have at our disposal, I'm pretty sure we could probably do some other things and make the website just revamped a little differently. That's all. Just switching it up a bit, but that'll probably be around November-ish, like November 1, All Saints Day. All righty. So with that being said,
I got one last thing. So are we going to announce what we was talking about earlier about a fortnight away?
Right here, in a fortnight. What happens in a fortnight, Brother Sean?
Is the heliacal rising of Sirius. So with that, me and Brother Hasan will be doing a workshop to not only teach, the beginner basics, of astrology, but also going into what that means and giving you the truth and the metaphysical truth of it, and not just oh, this is happening, to really give you that honest, sincere truth. And not only that, you're getting how to talk the basics beginners of astrology. So
yeah, like they got ASL as American Sign Language. We're doing ALC, AstroLiteracy Comprehension. No abbreviations because we're not liars. I just said it like that so it'll catch the ear. That's all. So that means we got flyers to make. We got some advertisements to do, right? Of course, that'll be for elementary tuition, guys. It's not ever a charge or cost or anything. I mean, a charge or a fee or a price. You get things at expense, and some people are like, well, how much does it cost for you guys to do X, Y, and Z and put these things together? It'll be something very easy and simple. We normally don't go over 27 units for donations for what it is. And the reason you're exchanging is not for access to it. It's really for the video that you get at the end of it to your email, the video and the audio that you get to your email. So with that being said, guys, 27 units and we'll go for money. That's really nothing. Like, because we do this full time. All righty. And we reserve our rights in receiving said elementary tuition, for we are not within the jurisdiction pertaining to the federal realm. that invisible empire is superseded by the visible empire, which is actually being presented in your face as I speak right now. So with that being said, it has been for, next April will be 3 years, right? Because we're in our second. So we start the third year in April, right?
Pertaining to?
What do you mean pertaining to? First workshop ever.
Oh, your first workshop? Wow.
Yeah, it was April 19th, 2020. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we'll be completed the third year by April 2023, technically. I'm just speaking collectively for Seven Hill Star. Even though I know Brother Sean, you came a little after that, but I mean, however, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's our history.
A whole sun cycle for me and Brother Benjamin since the workshop intensive.
How many sun cycles again?
It'd be, let's see, the first one, yeah, because that was October 2021. Yeah.
Okay, so October would be a year, basically, one sun cycle since commencing the workshop intensive for your certification. Exactly. So with that being said, guys, no more questions, comments, and or suggestions for I and Brother Sean tell you to
donate, like, and share with your family and your friends.
Indeed. Be yourselves and donate. Share with your loved ones, guys. And I am Brother Sean. We yielded the live streameth YouTube floor here. And say our namaste to you all. Namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. Peace and love.